What is up, Cowboys Nation? I feel like I'm a little low. I got to get up a little bit. I don't know. I'm still working on the new studio. Can you hear me all right, Jimmy?
Yeah, you're the new studio, which is my room. The hell, man. No, you look fine.
I've been working. My wife went out of town, and the reason we had to start it a little late today, just to give a quick shout out. My mom's birthday's today. My wife's birthday was Saturday. My wife was out of town, so I was home. So I had to kill two birds with one stone. So I took them out to dinner with my brother and stuff, which is always an adventure. So that's why we're late. But before we get rolling, hit that like, subscribe, share, get the pleasantries out of the way. We're going to get into some football. Interesting weekend, but just one PSA, if I can, Jimmy. One PSA is do not forget this Thursday, we got Tony Thrill Hill. What we're doing, Jimmy, understand is we can't seem to win a championship. So I'm going to bring the championships to the cave. So we got Super Bowl champion Tony the Thrill Hill, one of the best Cowboys receivers of all time. We got James Washington. He's going to be coming in next week. Two-time Super Bowl champion, back-to-back in the team of the 90s. A great safety. And then just locked in Sherman Williams, who was Super Bowl 30 champion, also national champion. He kind of got the best of my cane, so we're going to have to talk about that a little bit. But honestly, Sherman Williams, if you haven't read his book, Crimson Cowboy, just an amazing story and just really very open about some of the challenges he had and some of the adversity he faced in life. And is now a motivational speaker and trying to get kids on the right path and obviously not getting some of the things that he got caught into. So really excited about that. So we're bringing the champions to the cave. You understand that, Jimmy?
Exactly. And you know what? What's up, Vince? Hey, Fred, Cuts by Jones. I'm looking forward to the merch arriving and the masterpieces that you create arrive in my house at some point in the next week.
Oh, what a beautiful. I told him I'm going to beat you over the head with it. You make sure you bring that to the game. I'll bring mine. We have a loser match. Whoever loses has to get beat over the head with the nameplate. I think that'd make for good podcast.
That would, yes, it would be great entertainment. Doug, what's up? Ultra.
Yes. Good to see everyone. Good to see everyone back.
We appreciate it.
Yeah, let's see if I get all this right. Let's see.
Now,
look at that. I did it right. I'm learning. So before we get into football, and we got a lot to talk about with the weekend with some of the games. So how was your weekend, first of all, Jimmy?
That was good. It was fun. Obviously, watched a lot of football. Coming on an hour late was weird. I had an extra hour, and so myself and Dominic, our first producer, when we first started the podcast 2 years ago, we were wrestling. Not high school or collegiate fake. We were professional wrestling outside.
I like that.
So if I look a little beat up, there's a reason why.
Yeah, that's all right. As long as you didn't let them get the best of you. That's the most important.
You know what? Gotta have smarts.
Gotta have the smarts.
Gun to the eye, baby.
So let's start. We're NFC, so we
yes.
gotta start with the NFC. Oh no, that's later. Let's see. Where is it at? Where am I at? No, that's it. I'm gonna get this thing right. So NFC.
Yes.
The NFC Championship game is set. Detroit, San Francisco. I gotta say, been disappointed, obviously for other reasons in the way the playoffs have kind of shaped up, and especially NFC. Some of the teams, they don't look like world beaters. I mean, San Francisco, by all accounts, should have lost to Green Bay, but they didn't. They won. Lions got a little funky with the Buccaneers, and then they pulled it away in the end. So talk about the games. I mean, what was your thoughts? And really in the chat, what's your guys' thoughts on the NFC games this past weekend?
I mean, my opinion, the stinker of the weekend was Tampa Bay and Detroit. I think we can all agree on that. But Detroit did what I thought they were going to do. I didn't think there was any way. And you know what? As much as I'm not a fan of Tampa Bay because they're division rival, I love Todd Bowles, just a stand-up guy. But that being said, I saw no way that they were winning, so that wasn't a surprise. The 49ers Packers a little closer than I expected. But you know what? People call, and I've said it 1,000 times, I'm a shill for Brock Purdy. Started out slow. They came back down from down 10 on the fourth, did what they had to do. And I don't know, man. I don't see any way that Detroit beats San Francisco this weekend, especially if Debo's back. Especially
Debo's a question. The thing with the 49ers is that they're injury away from problems. And I think with Purdy, they said he couldn't throw a wet football, and I guess he really can't because he looked terrible for most of that game. But give him credit when it came crunch time. I mean,
Yeah,
he let him down there and definitely played well. And Jordan Love had a couple turnovers. Obviously, rule number one, and I'm no quarterback. I never was a quarterback unless we played street football. You don't throw across your body across the field. So
that's right.
that's
Well, well, it was funny because I was hanging out with Camel Piper, our favorite 49er fan, was over here at
yeah,
my place. We were
yeah. I
watching
was
the
thinking
game.
of him because I was like, man, he sent me a very nice message. I was very appreciative after the game. He sent me a nice message through there. So
Yeah.
I was actually in my heart kind of, I was hoping he didn't have to go through the same pain that we went through.
Nah, he was, you know what? He was sweating it out a little bit, but I told him at one point, I said, Jordan Love has been a little too good. This is beginning of the third quarter. I said, he's been a little too good for the last month. He's gonna screw up.
Yeah,
I said, he's got to screw up. He ended up throwing 2 INTs. One of them was, like you said, easily his
yeah,
fault.
yeah,
The other one was close.
yeah,
But, at the end of the day, like you said, San Francisco came back. They have that one guy, the third down specialist, Jawan Jennings, maybe.
yeah.
He caught some big passes. A name you never hear in that offense.
When Debo was out, he came in the clutch.
Yeah.
The other thing, when you talk to Camo, you tell him to send me $100 because my brother was down at the Hard Rock. So I said, hey, you know what? The 49ers are going to do what you're supposed to do to inferior opponents. They're going to smash them. They'll lay the 10.5. Give me the 49ers. And that didn't happen. That didn't happen.
Well, you know what?
I lost $100. And the thing that pisses me off is I was going to bet Tampa, Detroit, and Tampa getting 5.5. I was going to take Detroit, laying the 5.5. But I said, man, Vegas has that close, man. I just feel weird about that one. And I didn't take that game, and I kicked myself. And then I had both of the AFC. I had the Kansas City getting the I think it was 2.5, and then I had Baltimore winning big, but I didn't bet those. So I screwed up. I should have listened to Uncle Cheech because he had his upset, and I think he hit his lock. If I would have listened to Uncle Cheech, I'd probably be enjoying myself right now with a couple martinis and margaritas.
You stutter step. Now you know what? The other thing, and it's funny that Camel Piper brought this up the other night because it's something we were talking about weeks ago when you were considering playoff positioning for the Cowboys. He said, you know what? It looks like we haven't had our starters playing in 3 weeks.
Yeah. No, they did. They looked like they hadn't played in a little while.
Yeah, I mean, but again, they came, like you said, Purdy took the glove off, did what he had to do in the fourth quarter. I think the 49ers easily beat Detroit. I don't see any way that's going to turn out differently than that.
The other thing is, let me just lower that a little bit. That bothers me. I like it better. Got to see my poison gland. The other thing that I don't know about you, but when I watch it, you watch some of the AFC and then you watch some of the NFC game, it just shows the NFL. I mean, not many teams are far off. I mean,
No.
You get hot at the right time, the ball bounces your way, whatever it is. It's just one of those. I mean, you look at the Packers, and you look at the Bucks, and you look at Detroit, and you look at some of these teams. That is true, though. He has small hands, and that was one of the things they talked about. But
Austin Powers, small hands, Connie's.
But it just shows that in the NFL, it's anyone's game. You just got to get in the playoffs, and things can happen, and it could go good, or for the Cowboys and for the Eagles and for the Bills. I mean, it could go bad.
Yeah, and I'm sure we'll get to the AFC at some point after.
Yes.
But yeah. So I mean, there's not much else to it. I mean, I didn't see, and that game was close though. The Detroit game that went into the end of the third quarter before it really started opening up.
Yeah,
but
no, it was a good game.
It was a good game. It was a lot closer than I thought it would be. So
yeah,
sure, the NFL was happy with that. The TV sets were staying on this week. Nobody was changing the channels.
Well, they might have changed it. I went and watched the AFC. We'll flip to the AFC, and we watched Baltimore and the Texans. And the Texans, they put it on. I mean, the Ravens put it on the Texans. The Texans had a nice story. I was watching that game with a buddy of mine, Cowboys fan. The funny thing is, and we'll get in all different things, is one of my good friends is a Cowboys fan, so we go to some games. We'll go to a game a year, and this and that. But there's something there. It's when you're a Cowboy fan, you just kind of know the pulse. And we did not text during the Packer game, not to go too far back. We hadn't spoken since we met that a week later. And all it was I sent him a text and said, hey, Need to get out. Wife's out of town. You want to meet up for a drink, and then we'll watch some of the early game. He's like,
Yeah.
yeah, and that's it. And then we didn't talk. We never talked about the game. Never even talked about the game until we met, and then we kind of met up, and then we're just kind of going through the things again. But it's been kind of a weird, thing with Cowboys fans. It's been very quiet. Some have talked, but others just haven't really said a whole lot. So it's just kind of weird, the friendship that you have, and it kind of, you guys know.
Yeah.
So
Ultra, we'll get to that in just a little bit. We're
yeah,
gonna address that
yeah,
after.
yeah.
But yeah, I don't blame you. I mean, but you got to let it go. I still see people talking about they're going to give up their season. That's nonsense. But we'll talk
No, it's
about that after. No,
yeah.
no, that's not.
Here's a news flash. If you give up the season tickets, you gave up your seat license. Ain't no one gonna do that. I'm not doing that. What I paid for the seat license, my ass is. I'll sell the tickets. If I'm that angry,
Right.
I'll sell them. But I sure the hell ain't gonna forfeit
No,
my seat license.
no,
There ain't
I
no
don't
way
blame
in
you.
hell. So
Yeah, one of the biggest. What's that?
Jimmy?
No, so one of the biggest scams that the stadiums and owners pulled in the last 15 years of the
Oh God,
PSLs.
it
It's
is such a
ridiculous.
joke. It's such a joke. But they have you do it, so you got to get a ticket, like
That's
I did. And you know how that goes. But hey, I want to ask you a question. Ask you in the chat too. Maybe some people agree. I got into a little Twitter beef. A little me of all people. I get along with everybody. There was some, and we're gonna get into some of the stuff, but I'll just maybe I'll save it. I'll save it till after the end.
okay.
So go ahead. I don't want to jump topics. So go ahead with the AFC. You saw the Chiefs and Bills.
Yeah.
Another good game. Another failure for Josh Allen.
Yep.
And the Bills made some mistakes. I mean, both teams, made a few mistakes here and there that just had you scratching your head. But I mean, what was your thoughts being up in New York? You got the pulse of the state, even though it's they're way up north. But what's the thought with Buffalo?
Well, it's funny. We'll start with people are talking about Diggs, that cat, and they said, oh, he's wide open. That would have been a ridiculous catch because it was on his opposite side and he's looking over his head. So
Yeah.
I don't want to hear that was somehow the big missed opportunity, because that would have been a hell of a catch if he made it.
Yeah.
Second thing, I think that when the Bills had no right not scoring a touchdown on that last drive, I thought there was some bad play calling. And at the end of the day, Kansas City did what they had to do. If the Bills are going to have bad play calls, Chiefs stopped them, took care of their business, and then wide right again. I mean, it's like
I posted that video with Scott Norwood. Like, does anyone remember that one?
Yeah. I'm sure you made a lot of friends with that one.
Well, here's the thing. I don't know how you feel. Like people say, "Hey, Mike, who you pulling for? What do you do?" And I look at it in different ways. I have a different way. Like my heart of being a football fan, I'm going to say, you know what? It'd be kind of cool to see Detroit and Buffalo, right? They hadn't won a Super Bowl, be a good team. But the Bills fans, aside from my family, I got some family that are Bills fans. Aside from them, most Bills fans are assholes. I can't put it any other way. I'm just being honest.
Wow.
I'm just being honest. They've trolled me. They attack. I mean, I don't even reach out to them. I mean, and we beat them in the Super Bowl all the, and then they hadn't been to the Super Bowl since before us. But all of a sudden, what does it matter? You know what I'm saying? It's just I don't understand their logic to go after us, because I would be like, whose life is harder, a Bills fan or a Cowboys fan? Someone put that out there to try and figure it out. So I can't root for the Bills because of that, because I don't want to hear their fans. And then I'm thinking San Francisco, God, they're mean to me. The edge we have on them is they hadn't won a Super Bowl since before us. So I got them. That's good. And so I'm stuck rooting for the Chiefs, because I say, you know what? If they win again, who cares? I mean,
I care.
No one's going to give me no crap, so I don't really care.
See, but that's one thing. The rest of this country is sick of seeing Swift and Kelsey and all this crap, and Mahomes all of a sudden becoming a crybaby the last half of the season. Kelsey was going crazy. It's the first time he scored a touchdown in over 2 months. Worry about playing football and less about throwing up love signs to your girlfriend up there, to her and your brother up there.
I know, but really, like, everyone's making a big deal about Taylor
It's stupid.
Swift.
It's
But
stupid.
I mean, she's cheering and she's, who cares? I was more impressed with Kelsey's brother. I mean, he's out there with Bill's Mafia. He's doing some shots with him. He's shirtless and jumping into the stands. I mean, they seemed like a cool family. So they're a fun family.
Yes, no. They look like be fun to hang out with.
No, they would be.
I don't know if I want to watch a game with them.
No, they would be. And I apologize, Jeff, for my language. I know you got your young son and you don't want him hearing that kind of language, so I apologize.
Exactly.
I apologize to all the nice folks listening out there.
So you're talking about the Bills also throwing snowballs at everybody.
Yes.
Allegedly shutting the hot water off in the locker room after the game on the Chiefs, allegedly.
Well, how do you feel about if you're a fan and you had to shovel all that snow to watch your team lose? You know what I mean? You do it out of the kindness of your heart.
All that hard work. A few people probably had some heart attacks doing it. You're shoveling, 15 inches of snow. That ain't easy.
No. So it was a good game. I mean, I tell you, this weekend, the games were fun. The games were fun.
Yeah,
the games were even the Ravens game, it had a little bit of drama for a little while until the second half. But I tell you what, you got to give a lot of props to Houston. CJ Stroud being a rookie, yes. DeMeco Ryans, great coaching job. I mean, arguably should be coach of the year for what he's done in Atlanta or Houston.
Yes.
Sorry,
wish it was Atlanta.
I know, but you got to give him credit. So I think I think they're going to be a fun team. But I think these championship games, we got to get Uncle Cheech when he's on. We got to really break it down. But you got Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes. I mean, that's going to be a battle.
Let's take a step back. First of all, CJ Stroud kept his composure in that game. I give him a lot of credit. I mean, you get a rookie quarterback would have melted down. He kept his composure. His head was still in the game despite the score getting run up. But the Texans would shot themselves in the foot. There was so many undisciplined penalties. I think they had like 14 penalties. It was ridiculous. They had like 6 in the first quarter. So they shot themselves in the foot. That could have been a completely different game if they wouldn't have taken so many penalty yards.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, I love DeMeco Ryans. I know maybe Bobby, whatever, but I think DeMeco. I loved him as a player, even though he went to Alabama. But I think he's a great coach, great defensive guy with the Niners when he's there. So it's going to be good. So should we get Uncle Cheech in and just go ahead and let's pick these games?
Yeah, let's do that. Now Ultra is saying 2-score win by the Ravens, easy. But let's see what Uncle Cheech has to say. So what Ultra says.
Let's get what Uncle Cheech. Uncle Cheech, let's just bring him in. Uncle Cheech, what is happening?
Zio Cheech.
What's going on, guys?
Oh man.
Buongiorno.
Chilling. We're trying to figure out this weekend. I think you hit an upset and a lock, if my memory's right.
I told you Green Bay.
Yeah, I lost $100.
I lost
$100 and I listened to Uncle Cheech.
And the lock I had, Kansas City went outright. I told you that.
Got to listen to Uncle Cheech. Again, that is why I'm ahead on my rent payments. The landlady's happy, and I'm drinking the finest wine and champagne because Uncle Cheech. Grazie mille, Zio Cheech.
I knew I should have listened. So what do you got this week? This is championship week. This is it, man. Now, do you believe, first of all, do either one of you guys believe in the theory that the NFL is rigged and it's predetermined, little wrestling style, because the NFL Super Bowl logos for the last 2 years, and the logos come out, in the beginning of the season, had both teams in it, and now you've got purple and you've got red. So they're saying you've got Baltimore and San Francisco in the Super Bowl. What do you say, Cheech?
They're nuts. Not rigged.
What do you say, Jimmy?
You know what? I think it's tough to really
on that Facebook. The referees did this, the referees did that. And Jamie, I got to say one thing to you.
Yes, sir.
Same old Buffalo. You've heard that before. Same old Buffalo.
Exactly.
It comes to the end, they choke every time.
No,
every time. We're gonna took that to the bank.
Now, let me ask you, because you brought up about so Uncle Cheech. Let me ask you something, because I've heard on other podcasts, people who are influential, let's say, in the sports world, maybe they might take some bets here and there. They said, look, they will shave points, and they're kind of hanging things over players' heads to help shave points, to get some weekly picks, not necessarily scripted out for the season. What do you think about that?
What what's his name? Black Shoes Johnson or whatever the hell the guy's name is? Rothstein?
Arnold Rothstein. Yeah, yes. Well, Michael Franchise said that.
Hey, watch wrestling.
You got to grease the local politicians. You know that.
He had all the Uncle Cheech has all the politicians in his pocket.
Yeah, you take care of it. So what do we got, Cheech? Let's start out with Detroit. Detroit and San Francisco. We'll save the best for the last. Detroit, San Francisco. Detroit's been a fiery team. You know, they're scrappy. They take on the personality of their coach, Dan Campbell, former Cowboy, and Bowles was a former Cowboys coach as well. But what do you think of this matchup? How do you see it shaking out in San Francisco?
Well, I'm going to take Detroit and get 6.5. And I'll tell you what, I got 30,000 reasons to pick that team. I told you at the beginning of the year, I got 30-1. Detroit makes it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I put one large on there, so I'm going to take Detroit, getting 6.5.
I like it. I that would be nice. That would be nice. That'd be another hit. Be another hit for Uncle Cheech. I'm gonna think about that one because I gotta recoup the money that I lost. I lost $100 not listening to Uncle Cheech, and now I gotta recoup.
Well, you're forgetting rule number 2.
What?
Never try to recoup your loss.
What am I supposed to do?
Now, you played the one game and you lost because you didn't listen to Uncle Cheech. Now you got this is a
now
new
I got. Hey, let me tell you this story.
Don't play both games. Play one game.
Just one game. That's what I did. I did that. Let me tell you what happened, Uncle Cheech. So my brother, he was down at he's considered like a whale. Like not literally.
Not like JoJo.
He's a high roller down in the casinos. He's a big shot. He's dealing with the pit boss to get free nights and this and that. So I said, hey, how about you do your brother a solid? I need you to put 100 down on San Francisco and give the 10.5. He said, all right. He sent me a picture, and there was 2 bet slips, and there was another one. And I guess one of his buddies told him to put some money down on Green Bay, getting 10.5, and he didn't listen. He misunderstood what he said, so he ended up costing my buddy some money because he bet on San Francisco, giving 10.5. Now, who should have to pay that money? Shouldn't he be responsible for that?
Yeah, that happens, but yeah, out of goodness of his heart, he should. I don't know how much the guy bet, but he made the mistake.
He made a mistake.
Now you should own up to your mistake.
No, I mean you should have to pay for it. You should have to pay for it, and I think he should do the right thing. He should do the right thing, but we'll see. So anyway. What do you got? You're taking Detroit. Jimmy, what do you think? What's your opinion on that? Should my brother have to pay that?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah. And you only make that mistake once.
Yeah.
Just once.
You got that right. Just once.
Let me see. Hey, what's up, Troy? Hey, yeah, hit me up. I am actually going to St. Augustine, but I don't know when we're leaving. So I don't know if you're in Tampa on one of those days. Let me know if you're there earlier. Maybe I can meet up with you before if we're heading out Friday. I got to check with the wife. We're going to St. Augustine. I've never been.
The oldest city in the country, isn't it?
I wasn't supposed to go, but she goes, well, it looks like plans have changed for you. Looks like your weekend's open a little bit. So I think now I got no excuse not to go.
You got a point.
So let's talk about the game. The game of the week. The game of the week has got to be Baltimore, Kansas City. This is going to be the battle. You got Lamar Jackson, who hasn't really been able to get over the hump. You got Patrick Mahomes, who just finds a way to win. Doesn't have a lot of talent around him, but it seems like Pacheco's starting to play. He's been playing pretty good the last few weeks. Then you've got Kelsey, had a big game, so maybe he's starting to get. So you had the receiver that's been playing better. So what's your thoughts on that game?
I'll tell you what, I've been going back and forth with this game all day, really thinking about it. Baltimore looks like the better team when I watch them both play, but the best team don't always win. Lamar's 1-3 in his playoffs. And who would you want for your quarterback with the game on the line? That's all there is to it. I'm going to take Kansas City getting 3.
They're getting 3.
I'm getting 3, yes. I'm going to take Kansas City.
Man, they've been underdogs.
I mean, their defense is they got a good defense.
No, their defense is solid. Their defense is solid.
But I mean, they run the ball, got good defense. I don't think the being the visitor is going to make any difference. I mean, didn't make any difference the other night, so I don't think it's going to make any difference this time.
No, and everyone's got injuries. I don't hear that bull crap excuse.
You got to play with what you got. That's the way it is.
Break.
No, but I got to say, Uncle Cheech, I never thought of it like that because I'm thinking Baltimore in a runaway. But like you said, if you look at the stats with Lamar in the playoffs versus Mahomes, that hell of a point.
Well, he knows how to get. I mean, if you got what did he do the last time? We got 15 seconds left in the game.
No.
What quarterback would you want to get you down and to kick the winning field goal?
No.
True.
Think about it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No, I mean it's gonna.
And he's been there, done that.
That's the thing. And I tell you this: if the Bills make that kick, the Chiefs are going to score. There was not a doubt in my mind. So I know a lot of people want to, they wanted the kicker's head in Buffalo, and hopefully he made it out of there alive. But they weren't winning that game. I guarantee you, the Chiefs would have won. There's a guy who hit big. And listen to Uncle Cheech. I don't know why. Yeah,
big shot.
You can't count Patrick Mahomes out. And he's the one guy that you could pay top dollar to as a quarterback because he can carry a team. I don't think there's another quarterback in the NFL that can.
Well, I watched Lamar play when they played Houston, but it's Houston. Kansas City is not Houston.
Yeah.
He's running away and this and that. They kept in it for the first half, had a chance to go ahead. And but Baltimore came out and put it to him in the second half. But I can't see that happen.
No, it's going to be tough. I think the key for me, and get Jimmy's thought on it, the key for me, the Chiefs got to get ahead. The Chiefs got to get ahead, and they got to kind of make Lamar beat him with his arm. Because if they fall behind and Lamar can make things happen, man, he is unbelievable.
He can't get him under, I mean, contain him a little bit. That's all I'm saying. Because you're not going to stop him if you can contain him a little bit.
Yeah,
they can win the game.
I think Kansas City, they established a run game, but get Isaiah Pacheco running. I think that's
running good.
Yes, I think they established that running game, and like you said, it's Patrick Mahomes.
And might be same old Ravens too out there.
Oh, wow, and that's the thing. And if you want to hang out a little longer, Cheech, because I wanted to ask this question and get your opinion on it. Is where is we at? Not there. There we go. Why? I mean, Josh Allen. I mean, we all have to hear it. And let me fix this. You can't see my top of my head. Why does Josh Allen always seem to get a pass by the media?
Because he don't play for the Cowboys.
Well, that's true. That's true. But I mean, he's not. I looked at the numbers. I look at him, and you could talk about him or Dak. Neither one of them have had huge playoff success. I mean, Josh Allen's 500. He hasn't gotten out of the divisional round in a long time. They did make it to one NFC championship game, but who the hell cares? I mean, who really cares if you make it, if you lose? That's why I don't understand some of these fans. Oh, well, Dallas hasn't gotten to a championship game. Who cares? If you didn't, how many teams have won the Super Bowl in those 30 years? That's what I mean.
That's right. If you ain't there at the end, if you don't win it all, then the season's a loss.
Yeah.
Period.
And let me just jump in here with Mark Holmes. I said this all year. I said it before the season. I said it during the season. The Cowboys cannot run the ball. They better go get a running back. I did not have faith in Pollard being the lead dog. And I still believe that was their demise in the end. Now, linebackers, that's another subject, but not being able to run the ball. You could see these teams running in the playoffs. What are you seeing? You're seeing the Chiefs running the ball, the Ravens running the ball,
yes,
the Lions running the ball. All these teams, 49ers, obviously they can run the ball with McCaffrey, but you have, it's as great as football is with all the passing and all the crazy crap they do. Jimmy and I, how many times do we say it still comes down, you got to be able to run the ball.
You got to run the ball. That's the only thing that concerns me with this Detroit game. McCaffrey runs free. I don't. Then there goes my 30 large.
Well, you saw Des
They don't
Bryant.
slow him down. They got to at least slow him down. They're never going to stop him. But just like Lamar, you got to contain him somewhat. But if he starts busting these big runs, it'll be a long day for Detroit.
I want to get back to that Josh Allen thing quick because obviously I know quite a few Bills fans.
You got the pulse of the state.
I was talking to a good Bills, really close friend of mine, known for a long time, Bills fan, last night after the game, and he said, "You know what?" And this guy is not the biggest fan of Josh. He's like he's the ultra cowboy version for the Bills. He does not like Josh Allen. He's always ripping on him that he's undisciplined and all that. He said last night, he was very happy with Josh Allen's performance last night. He said he didn't make any stupid mistakes. He missed a
he fumbled the ball and got bailed out because the guy tried to get cute with it instead of just falling on it.
Hey, that's not me. That's like I said, that's the ultra cowboy version.
Part of the game, and he got bailed out by it. And I like Josh. Listen, I like Josh Allen. I think he's one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL. But I'm sick of he gets excuses made for him. You could, and I'm not comparing him to Dak, but if you want to go ahead, Dak has played 20 more games. Josh Allen has a bunch more interceptions. Dak has more yards per average, better completion percentage. Neither one of them have done anything taken their team to the Super Bowl. The Bills arguably have had a better team than Dallas over that time. You could easily make that argument. Their roster has been better than Dallas, but he gets a pass in the media. Dak Prescott never gets a pass in the media, and I'll be the first to say he don't deserve one. Dak Prescott don't deserve a pass, but neither does Josh Allen. If you're going to keep it 100, if you're going to keep it the same, both of them should be under the same pressure and the same scrutiny. That's all.
Well, it don't work that way. They're going to keep dissecting Dallas. Whether it's this, that, quarterback, running back, it doesn't matter. Because it's the biggest franchise in the world. They're going to keep dissecting you.
But I think it's no different than, let's say,
the fans, I mean, I can't think any offhand.
But I think it's like your big market teams. The Yankees, they get,
Yankees. How many times they want to hang their manager and stuff?
I've been saying it for the last season and a half. Right?
No, I know.
Uncle Cheech.
I understand. It's part of where to start. And the thing I'll say, and maybe I'm crazy, maybe I've calmed down over the time, but I watched the playoffs, and as time gone by, I'm not as angry as I was, right? Because I said, you know what, Dallas, they got outplayed. They lost. That's what happens in the playoffs. All I ever say is you got to get in the playoffs and you got to do something in the playoffs. It don't matter if you're first seed or seventh seed. Everyone's 0-0. Everyone's got an opportunity. It's who's the best team that day. And Dallas wasn't the best team that day. And you got to deal with it. And I got to see what they do to fix it. But I'm not going to blame McCarthy. That's kind of stupid. Dak deserves his share of the blame. Didn't have a great running game. Didn't really have much of a running game at all. The defense, I put more of the blame really on the defensive side of the ball because, they gave up 46 points? 40. I get a lot of.
What was it? 48-16.
48. Whatever it was. They could have scored 70.
That's the defense.
Yeah.
No, the offense didn't give them 48 points. If you can't stop them, they're going to keep scoring. Period. Yeah. I got to give Green Bay a lot of credit. They really surprised me this year. Came out of nowhere. And really played well. They had a chance to win that game in San Francisco on the road again.
They should have won. They outplayed them for 58 minutes, but at the end of the day, you got to win.
The team rises to the top at the
end. Absolutely. And if Josh Allen was far and above the most talented quarterback over Dak, why does Dak beat him in every statistical category except one? Interceptions. Josh Allen has them. So don't give me that bullshit. That's just you want to say that they're both underachieving, I can deal with that. You want to say this or that, whatever, I can deal with that. But don't put Josh Allen on this pedestal like he's the number 2 quarterback in the NFL or this or that. He is underachieved and he is a turnover machine. And when it comes nut cutting time, he doesn't deliver. And that's just a fact. You say it about Dak, keep the same. As Michael Irvin once said, don't lose that intensity. Keep that intensity to the Orlovsky and all those other clowns that ride his D all the time. Keep the same intensity that you've done with the other quarterbacks. You always give
You
him.
don't belong on a pedestal till you get some rings.
Yeah, they ain't won shit. Yeah,
Like
you don't win no ring.
To be on a pedestal. I mean, what he got 2? Probably going to get 3 rings now.
Hey,
and he's still young.
Yeah.
Kelly, who decides the standards?
I don't know who the hell it does, but someone needs to. But anyway,
I don't listen to any of that crap when they talk about the players and stuff.
Yeah, it's just it's aggravating. And like I said, I'm not here saying that Dak Prescott is the greatest quarterback. I'm not. He needs, like I said before, there needs to be open competition. There should be open competition for every position on the Cowboys roster. There was a time in '89 the Dallas Cowboys drafted Troy Aikman, number 1 overall, and they went ahead and drafted Steve Walsh, first round pick they gave up in the supplemental draft, and they had Steve Walsh and Troy Aikman in there. You don't think Jimmy Johnson was sending a message? I mean, he had Steve Walsh as his quarterback. Now, Aikman was clearly better. I mean, you'd have to be blind not to see the talent in the two. But they were gonna make it a competition because everyone needs to be uneasy. And I think competition breeds success and it builds you together even stronger.
That's right. You don't make anybody comfortable.
No. And there's too many people comfortable.
Now I gotta ask you something because Camel Piper's brother just texted me. Come on the YouTube and comment. But he says Dallas's offensive line is 100% better than Buffalo. Josh does more with less.
Oh my God. Give me a break. Who is that? A Bills fan?
It's Camel Piper's brother. He's a Giants fan.
Oh, get that. He still has PTSD over the beatings that we gave his Giants. Tell him to shut up. And
damn,
went toe-to-toe with Mahomes, and he lost in a close game, just like Josh Allen did. So don't give me that shit. Now we can be fired up. Now we got a party. Oh man. It's crazy. It's crazy. I have a good time with it, but you gotta have fun, man. You gotta have fun. But it's gonna be a great look. As a football fan, I love the NFC championship game weekend. It's gonna be some good football. I think you've got the teams. I'm glad. I'll be honest with you. I'm kind of glad if Dallas wasn't in it. Of course, I didn't want to see Tampa. I didn't want to see Green Bay. I mean, Detroit deserves to be there. San Francisco obviously deserves to be there. I think the Ravens and the Chiefs are clearly the best teams in the AFC. So we don't have any of these Cinderella teams that are just going to get their ass whooped in the come Sunday. I think it's going to be 2 very good football games. So
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
It'll be very interesting and lots of fun.
Yeah. It's gonna be.
So anyway, win, I'll really be looking forward to it.
Hey, look, man, I would be happy. I would. Now, Camel Piper, I got a soft spot for him. So, and I know a couple 49er fans. So, you don't want people, I don't know. I always root for some people that I know. But Detroit, I've got some friends who are Lions fans. But that city, man, did you just see the way they were? And they hadn't been to that. This is the first championship game they're gone to in over 30 years. And, you kind of root for that story. Like,
very old friend of mine burned all his Detroit stuff a few years ago. Took him out in his driveway, took some gas on him, lit all his jerseys and pictures, everything on fire.
Who did?
Happy now. I haven't talked to him in a couple of years, but that's why his guy in Stafford won the Super Bowl. They had to play in that shit team all them years.
No, I know.
They got to go. He's a good quarterback, good person, and I'm glad they won it.
No, it was. I mean, it was good. And again, it's and I'm happy for Goff because Goff gets a little bit of redemption, getting traded away and this and that. So I mean, there's just some good stories this weekend. But
you got them 2 young quarterbacks, facing off against each other, and we'll see. The other 2 you got. Well, one is great, and the other one's hoping to be. So.
Well, Lamar's going to be the MVP. He's going to win MVP. And you got Mahomes has won
all the MVPs you want. You want championships.
No, I know.
Yeah, you want the trophy.
You got the Titans in the AFC, and the crazy thing is I didn't. If you would have told me before the season, I thought the NFC was going to be more of a dominant. I thought they had the tier teams were going to be better. than the tier teams in the AFC, but I was wrong. So what do you do? So anyway, all right, Uncle Cheech, we
All right,
appreciate you, man. All right.
Grazie mille.
All right, take care. I have some fun. I mean, we had an abbreviated show a little bit, but it's always good. It's always good to mix it up a little bit. You know, go ahead.
Well, one last thing on a footnote, because I just noticed the time. Okay, so you're not wearing cowboy gear yet.
Not yet.
I saw where CeeDee Lamb maybe wasn't sticking up for Dak after some social media antics. So what's up with that?
Well, I'm still, and that's true. I typically always wear my cowboy stuff. I'm just haven't been feeling it. To be honest with you, here, if I can be honest with you, the main reason I haven't felt it is because if someone gives me shit, I'm still in that mode where I'm gonna get vicious back, and I'm gonna just, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm not physical, but I'm gonna be quick with my words. You know, we grew up in the era, and we grew up in South Florida where cracking was a way of life. If you couldn't do it, you weren't gonna survive in school. So if I need to, I can get down with it. And I can go for the jugular. Not as good as my brother, but I can get there if I need to. So I just rather avoid any of the drama that goes with it. And I said, you know what? I'll wear neutral stuff. That way I don't have to hear anything. So that's why. But to your point of drama in Dallas, obviously CeeDee Lamb's mom was saying stuff during the game. Frustration. I mean, a lot of people were frustrated. And I said some things. And if I would have tweeted what I was saying, then maybe, and I know I'm not their family member, but maybe people question me as a Cowboys fan. So when you're tweeting stuff during a game, that's why you really don't, unless it's good stuff, because I could end up saying the wrong thing. I don't really, I mean, they're their own person. It's like Parsons had to come out and say, look, my brother tweets what he says. You know, his brother said he wants to leave Dallas and this and that. And Parsons said, I love the city. I'm not going nowhere, this and that. So, it sucks they have to answer to their siblings.
It does.
But at the end of the day, that's CeeDee's mom. And she's gonna, you heard it on the people on the, the announcer saying, hey, something's wrong with CeeDee. Something's wrong with it. McCarthy's going to talk to him. So you do get defensive. And I don't really hold a lot to it. I don't really worry about it. Jimmy is an outsider. Maybe you can tell me if I'm right or wrong. We didn't have social media, in the other eras. I think everyone wants to be, heard. There's, it's the same thing. Like I say, is Dallas. I always get a decent amount of views on stuff. When the Dallas Cowboys lost, within a 24-hour period on Facebook, I got 1.2 million views. And probably over 10,000 comments of negativity from people who weren't even Cowboys.
I'm sorry to laugh.
No, but I'm just saying it. That's why I told one of my buddies, he's like, he sent me a message just talking crap about the Cowboys, making jokes, and I just didn't respond. Then he did it again. And I said, look, man, I really don't need it. And then we talked a little bit today, and I'm like, you got to understand, after I get all this hate, and I'm fine with it, but it gets old. Like where you want the safe spaces to be, like with your buddies, man. Give me a few days. Give me 48 hours.
Right.
Let me get over it. Then you guys can crack. It's like I said, it was the same thing. When you guys lose, and you know me, have I ever messaged you about the Falcons losing anything?
Nope. Because I got to say, Mike Tag doesn't go for the low blows like that.
No, I've been there, man. I'm a Cowboys fan. You don't think I know hurt? So why would I want to put you in the same position? So anyway, so that I think it's a little overblown. I think it's media overblown. There's a lot of negativity with fans that are attacking players and sending messages to their family members and this and that. And so I don't know your opinion on it, but what's yours as an outsider hearing all this stuff with these?
Well, and that's the problem. Like you said, it's his mom. Right. That's tough. I mean, you're caught in a rock and a hard place. And at the end of the day, look, who's stroking his it's like this catch one. Who's stroking his paycheck? Right. It's his mom, but who's stroking the paycheck? And you just don't want, Dak and him going into next season, starting off with drama like that. So I don't know if they just deal with it like, hey, bro, it's my mom. I'm sorry. Behind the scenes, keep it in the locker room and don't worry about it.
Yeah. No, I mean, so let me ask you a question you can ask in the chat. So then I told you I got my first like kind of Twitter beef with somebody who followed me. And then he said, he's not following me. Call me a clown. I'm a clown and said he's unfollowed me. I've never unfollowed anyway. The thing is, I would hope that you don't agree with everything I say. I don't agree with everything that you say or someone else said. That's the whole point of having your own mind. But this guy came out, and I had said something because Dak Prescott's brother showed some tweets or messages where people were attacking him, attacking his brother personally.
Yeah.
I mean, personally, there's a football game. I understand everyone's hurt, man. No one's more pissed that the Cowboys lost than me, but I've never sent a tweet to a family member or message to a family member or even a player calling them all these names. So all I said was, because the guy, I made that comment, I said, man, you guys got to be better than this or that. And in the tweet, the guy's like, I pay his salary so I can say whatever the F I want. It's time to pay their salary. And so I said, we don't pay their salary. Jerry Jones pays their salary. The guy's like, what? Well, we buy the merch and we buy this, so that's bullshit. You need to get your mind right. And so we kept going back and forth. So then I just put it like this. I said, let me ask you this. I said, so I can call up the stockman's mother because I got broken chips and he's a stockman at the grocery store because I pay his salary. I'm going to call his mother and I'm going to call her son a piece of you know what. Is that fair? I can do that because I pay his salary, right?
That's right. That's right.
They're making. That's the argument that they're making.
But that's what social media, you get the beer muscles, you get those keyboard tough guys. It's a different animal, right?
Yeah.
People say whatever they want behind that keyboard, first of all, right? Hey, you said he's following you on Twitter?
What? No, he unfollowed me.
Unfollowed.
I know Mark gets a hate. Mark gets a hate too. Mark's a huge content creator, and I love his stuff. But he has way bigger than I do, so I can only imagine. But and I don't mind the hate. I just hate when they get personal with players' family.
Yeah,
like hate me all you want, but if you go after my daughter, you go after my wife, you go after my son. I mean, that's kind of like a little bit, I don't know. I just don't do that.
It's out of bounds. You don't do that, man.
No, one guy wants to fight me and really wants to fight Kelly. I got brought into it because of Kelly, probably. And he lives in Fort Worth, and he's like, hey, and Kelly, I said it, and Kelly said, say, hey, dude, we're right. Where we're at. We sit there, we post everywhere we go. The guy's like, I'm not going over there with all your Cowboys. You come to me. You want a piece of me, you come down where I'm at, right? I'm not going to you.
Like, what, you got to waste your gas money to go entertain this guy? Speaking of Kelly, I was texting Kelly Saturday night. Looks like he was having a fun weekend.
What happened?
I was texting Kelly on Saturday night. Looks like he was having a fun weekend.
Oh, yeah.
I wish I was hanging out with Kelly this weekend.
Oh, he's living the dream, man. He's living that life. He's living that life. But no, and it's like, for a while I was down. I've gotten better and better. I think Dallas, and we'll get into it all off season and we'll get that. But more importantly, it's like I said, we got champions coming into the cave. We couldn't get the champions. So my last announcement, we got Tony Thrill Hill coming in Thursday live. So there's opportunity for you guys to talk to him. And if you got nothing nice to say, don't be in the chat because I will block you in 2 seconds. If I can't get it in 2 seconds, Kelly will get it in 3.
Guys, we've talked about this.
We got James Washington, 2-time Super Bowl champion with the Cowboys. Great career. Hard hitter. Man, that dude can bring it. And then in a couple weeks after that, we got a week off. Obviously, Super Bowl, we'll get into that. Sherman Williams, Super Bowl champion, the Dallas Cowboys. He's got just a great story of just kind of a lot of adversity. He's very open about it. He wrote in his book, Crimson Cowboy. He didn't shy away from it, but he used that negativity and turned it into a positivity and really with the community and helping kids. And Mark, I appreciate it, man.
Thanks, Mark.
Big fan of yours as well. And so that's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm really looking forward to that. And then we've got a couple other things in the works. Got to get some Canes. So I'm working on a quarterback that won the national title with the Canes who played for the Cowboys. We're working with him and see if we can get that down. And then I might work with Hulk Hogan. I'm going to see Hulk Hogan this week. And we're going to, like I showed you, Jimmy, we're going to get that. We're
Tell
get
him.
That boy signed, a little Hulkster. And so maybe we'll he said one day he's a Cowboys fan, so I'm gonna find out.
You got to call him. You got to call him by his right name, Thunderlips.
Thunderlips,
the ultimate male versus the ultimate meatball. And to Mike's point, real quick, and we've said it before, but when there's guests on, look, we can't put on every single comment, but we put on certain comments on the screen. But the ones on the left side, the guest can see all of them. So if you're saying stupid things or being disrespectful, then it delegitimizes and it hurts the show. Yeah. So please don't do that crap, because I agree with Mike. You get blocked like that.
Yeah, it can't. Suzanne said that people are giving that kicker death threats.
Yes. Oh yeah, it's ridiculous, right? I mean,
they would have lost anyway. Like I said, they weren't going to win that game.
They should have had a touchdown at the end. Never mind a field goal.
Well, they shouldn't even had the game, because, like I said, the Chiefs guy gave it back to him because Josh Allen fumbled it. All he had to do was fall on it, but he tried to pick it up and run. So
but
yeah, Kelly's gonna have a trigger finger, because we're not. He's gonna be itchy there, because I don't put up with that shit.
No, I don't blame you. You ain't driving all the way out to Fort Worth for that nonsense.
No. So anyway, Jimmy, I know you had to dip out. We had to do a late show. We apologize if you guys are used to us at 7. If you're catching us on the replay, just had a couple birthdays had to get out of the way. Had to get Mama Tag, and then also my mama had to have a birthday dinner for her. So I apologize.
Well, guys, don't forget, like and subscribe. Tell your friends, and because you guys make the show, it's fun for us. You guys make it a lot of fun for us, so we really appreciate it.
Yeah. So still working on our exit. So I will leave you with a little sneak peek of our intro that I'm working on. So I'll leave that with you as we leave. I appreciate all the support. Kelly and I will be live. We will be live. Yeah, make sure you hit that like button on your way out, but we will be live on Thursday. Tony Thrill Hill coming into the cave, man. I am pumped up. I'm excited about that. He was one of my heroes, my favorite players in that era with the Cowboys. So definitely check us out live on Thursday. Get an opportunity to ask a question to the man, Tony Thrill Hill. Take care.
It's going to be good stuff, man.
All right.